Me a little bit about you came home and said, instead of paying the rent, babe, I'm going to pay for a bus to take some people to this event, and we gonna go stay in a hotel. Talk to me about what your wife said when you came home, because I already know. After I slapped my wife for coming home and said that, and then I was in jail, I had to get bailed out. Then we would have other problems. So, like, talk to me about what was her first initial reaction to that?
Oh, hey, friend, welcome to the shop. Look, now that I got you here, let me remind you of something real quick. Free Your Mind isn't just a brand, it's a movement. It's streetwear with a purpose, motivation that you can wear for the people who want to create their freedom in real life. Every t-shirt, every crew neck, every sweatshirt, every single piece is a reminder that you have the power to create the life that you want to live. I'm just saying, if you're all about elevating, growing consistently, and living life on your own terms, this is a shop for you. Head on over to freeyourmindshop.com. And just because you family, use code FREEDOM10 and get 10% off your next order. Now, don't say I never gave you nothing, okay? That's freeyourmindshop.com. Use code FREEDOM10, get 10% off your next order. But look, you got to hurry up and move fast because it's a limited supply. And when the pieces are gone, I can't guarantee that they're coming back, okay? So head on over to the shop. Shop freeyourmindshop.com. Get 10% off your next order. Use code FREEDOM10 and let's get into the episode.
I be on my queen shit, crown tilted lean shit, melanated, elevated, unafraid to be shit. Welcome to the Free Your Mind podcast, where we believe in the transformative power of conversation. I'm your host, Tiffanie McCall, and today's guest is a new friend of mine. I'm so excited to get some information to learn about what he has to share with us today and to have some real conversation.
Absolutely.
All right, Mr. Darron, introduce yourself. Tell the people who you are. Oh, before you do that, we have no conversations without libations here. So I made us a little drink. Now, y'all know the French 75 is my favorite drink, and I was pressed for time, so I made it for you again. Y'all gonna keep on saying this because I love to drink it.
That's right.
Let's try it.
Let's do it.
Oh, cheers. That's right. That's right.
Let's go. You made it.
It was good?
Yeah.
It's good? It's not too strong?
It's the best one.
Okay. I love it. I love it. All right. So introduce yourself. Tell the people who you are, what you do.
Okay. Yeah, so Darron Charles, I'm actually out in Maryland, and what I do is I show people how to build wealth. I show people how to make sure they invest wisely for retirement, right? Save money so money saves you. I make sure the right type of life insurance, right? In the community, a lot of people are being sold the wrong type of life insurance or don't have it outside the job. And I show people how to build wealth as far as going in business for themselves. So if anything, you can say I'm a wealth creator. I show people how to create wealth.
A
right?
wealth creator.
Absolutely.
That's spicy. I like that name. That's saucy. A wealth creator.
That's right.
You got like a hashtag or something? Say wealth creator?
Wealth creator, hashtag, I'm winning. I'm winning.
I like
I
you.
want people to win also. That's what it's about.
I love that. I like you. I'm winning in hashtag wealth creator.
Absolutely.
Hashtag I'm winning. I love that. I love that. That's
Absolutely.
so dope. Okay, so Darron, what does freedom look like to you?
Well, freedom, financial freedom. There's freedom to know that you're free from doubts, fears, and I mean there's two aspects of freedom I look at. One of the freedoms I look at to start before you can get wealthy is the freedom to be who God put you on earth to be, to overcome doubt, overcome fear, knowing that anything you're faced with, you can get through, right? Knowing that the situation that's ahead of you or in front of you, you got to be able to see past that. And so the first freedom I truly believe is just knowing who you are and being able to be the best version of yourself and not worrying about the opinions of other people or doubts or fears, the things that hold you back in your mind. Because I don't think anybody could stop you from what you want.
Man,
right? So
you talking my language now.
So I'd say I had to learn this business and the business I'm in, and just in life, that you've got to declare the things that you want, and you got to speak it with boldness.
Yes.
Right? It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. It doesn't matter people's opinions of you. None of your business. You got to speak it with boldness. And sometimes you might speak something, and you might feel like, you know what? I don't know why I even said that. How it will deliver. But when you speak with boldness, it activates the power in you, right? I mean, whatever a person believes, the Holy Spirit, their inner child, whatever, that will attract those things you want if you truly believe what you're speaking. And in the beginning, you may not believe it at first, but when you face those doubts and those fears and act on that feeling that you get, that hunch, right? You never deny a hunch. What happens is you get power. But when you don't, when you know to do something, you don't do it. What happens is you start feeling sorry. You start feeling shameful, and shame is one of the biggest killers of success because it ties you to your past.
Yes.
And it sabotages your future.
Yes.
And then you start forgetting who you are, and you start second guessing yourself and doubting yourself. But when you speak something, you act on it. That gives you power, right? And that gives you belief, and that gives you faith, and that gives you those things you want even faster, right? And then financial freedom, to me, is just financial independence is when your passive income exceeds your living expenses.
Come on.
So if you have, let's say it takes $5,000 to maintain your quality of life, and you got $10,000 coming in, whether through owning businesses or investing or property, whatever it is like that, passive income that exceeds, and you don't have to work for money, but you have money working for you. That's freedom.
Yes, come on. Welcome to the Free Your Mind podcast. Your host there. Yes.
There you go.
Yes, I love that. I love that. That's my kind of energy. That's my kind of language right there. Put this pillow behind me because my back hurting. All right. So that I don't even have the words because that was so dope. I was about to ask you another question, but you just like gave so many gems. I got to ponder on that. So while I'm thinking, what kind of things do you do to make you feel free?
Well, before you have those things that you want, you have to act as if it already is yours, right? So like I remember when at one point I lived in a Ramada Inn at one point.
Okay.
I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment with I had my wife, my 3 girls, all in one room at one point, right? But I always still went to the neighborhoods with the nice house and walked through, act like I was a buyer, or you go to see the Aston Martins or the BMW, whatever you like.
Yeah.
You smell the leather, you feel the leather. You go to Gucci, Louis, whatever you like. You try on the outfit and take pictures of it. You know what I'm saying? And when you start to feel those things, it just becomes your reality, right?
Yeah.
You gotta see in your head first. So those are the things I used to do in the beginning, but then as I started having a little bit of success, the things I do to make myself feel free is I always blow at least 10% on myself, right? So whatever you make, because if you just save, when you start spending money, you're gonna spend too much, right? So I always blow 10% of myself. Like I decided, like 2 days ago, I'm gonna go to Vegas, right?
Okay.
And then my daughter wants to go to Turks and Caicos, so I'm gonna do that, right? So I do things like that, but then it forces me not only to make the money, but it also forces me to help develop people and help other people make money. Because whatever you want for yourself, you gotta want for other people. Whatever you do to others, you're doing to yourself.
Ooh.
So if you bless others, you'll be blessed. So the more I go after those things and I just challenge myself, okay, I don't want to do this. And it forces you to make money, but then I have to help more people and help my team make money, right? Help them have success. Because when they can pay their bills and when they can provide for their family, right? The more people you help achieve what they want, you get what you want anyway. So just whatever I have a hunch to do, like I said before, you never deny a hunch.
Yeah.
You never deny a hunch. Just act on every feeling. It's something inside you say, go buy those pair of shoes or whatever it is like that you want to take that vacation, right? You never know when you have another chance to take that vacation. Take it.
That's tight.
You make the money back. You can go get it. I mean, and then it just forces you to work and have faith and know that God's your end of supply and they're always making money, so you can always make more because they're always printing it every single day.
Whew.
So just
You talking good. You talking good. You talking good. I love that.
on it.
I love that. That's what I'm talking about. And I believe
This thing.
take this. That's your drink. You sip as much as you want.
Another one.
Look, I always believe that what you believe in your mind and how you think about things is what you manifest into your life.
That's right.
So I love that you brought that or that you implement those things. They talk about like vision boards and affirmations. It's putting yourself in those spaces to see as a reality the things that you want for yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you can't see it, it's hard for you to believe it. It's hard for you to kind of obtain those type of things if you're not constantly seeing it and having the vision to dream bigger. What was it? What was this shift? Well, before I get to the shift, because I love to hear people's stories. Like, I like the backstory. So you talked a little bit about you and your family was in a one room at Ramada. What caused that, or, guys, I don't want to get too personal, whatever you feel comfortable with sharing, but how'd you get to that place?
Okay, so how I got to it, sometimes you can be around doubters and start to doubt. Right, so it was in the beginning stage of my. I mean, it was like 2 weeks, right? But I was in the beginning stage of my business. I was in the Ramada Inn because I made a decision, right? So, I know you can always if you ask God for something, but you plan for failure, you're gonna get what you plan for. So if I say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna make all this, I'm gonna do these great things, but just in case I don't, this is what I'm gonna tell the creditors, or maybe I have this part-time job I can actually go to just in case I don't, then you're gonna always get what you plan for. You're not gonna get what you asked for.
Yeah.
So it was just doubt, just being around doubters, second guessing myself, thinking, hey, but then I made a decision, and it actually changed my life, right? I deal in finance, and I was taking some of my agents to an event, meet some of the top $1 million earners, and learn how to build wealth, right? And so I made a decision. I could have paid my rent, or I could have took a bus. I paid for the bus
You
because
like
it was
that.
just 2 weeks. But I just knew that if I took people there and they saw it, they can't unsee what they done saw. And once they believe, I think that the best investment you can ever make outside of yourself is in other people, not the stock market or buying or flipping houses, because people have unlimited potential once they see the potential and once they know who they are and whose they are.
Yeah.
So I took them to the event. I was there for like 2 weeks, but then I got into a one-bedroom apartment. But I think I would have been a lot further along if I hung around people that thought bigger, that made me uncomfortable, and also if I didn't doubt or second guess myself and understand that every time you jump, the net will appear, and you don't got to plan for anything other than what you want.
Yes. What was your wife's thought? Like, talk to me a little bit about, you came home and said, instead of paying the rent, babe, I'm going to pay for a bus to take some people to this event, and we gonna go stay in a hotel. Talk to me about what your wife said when you came home, because I already know. After I slapped my wife for coming home and said that, and then I was in jail, I had to get bailed out. Then we would have other problems. So, like, talk to me about what was her first initial reaction to that.
Well, it was never a conversation.
Boom.
I don't do that because the way I look at it is like this. If I have a vision that was given to me, I have to act on it, because outside voices can deter me from what I know is truth, or put me in the wrong direction. So the way I look at it is, I'm the pilot and my family is on the plane. They're just passengers. When I get to my destination, we all win. But if I look back and say, hey, you know what? You're a passenger. You think I should veer off to the left a little bit. You be going to Africa, and you 1 or 2 degrees off and end up in Australia. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
So you got to fly your plane. You got to know, and then I got to understand that. I mean, first of all, anyone that's talking about you, 6 months from now, you're not gonna remember what they're talking about. They're gonna be talking about somebody else later. It doesn't really matter. There's never been a statue for a critic. There's those criticized, right? So my mindset is, my wife, she might be gone one day, right? Whether it be whoever, I might pass away, she might pass away. I'm not saying a divorce, but you know what I'm saying? Things happen.
Yeah.
My kids are going to be gone one day, right? So a lot of times people try to live through their kids and try to get them to be something that they're not, right? Your kids are going to be a reflection of you, right? They'll try to live through your kids, and then when they leave and they have their own family, you don't got nothing to show for it. My parents going to be gone one day. At the end of the day, the only person I have is myself and God. So if I can't look myself in the mirror and be proud of who I became, I failed.
Whew.
So it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. I know that's what I got to do. That's what I got to do. And when we do it, we all win.
Yes. You just shifted my perspective, because, see, I went straight to punch you in the face, and you just shifted my perspective, because I don't even know if probably now I'm a little bit more, my mind's a little bit more open. I'm a little bit more aware and conscious of how one decision can affect other things.
Yep.
But there's probably like yesterday, I would have slapped you, or I would have went off. Like, it would have been an argument, discussion, like would have been a problem.
Right.
But I love how you framed it as, the pilot and the passengers.
Yeah.
Because honestly, if you're in relationship with someone, you're in partnership with someone,
Yep.
and you believe in that person, first of all, you trust that they're never going to do anything to hurt you
That's right.
or intentionally damage you as a person.
Yeah.
And when you are in relationship with a go-getter like us, a dreamer like us,
Yeah.
it does take a level of blind faith.
Yep.
You have to believe, like, I don't see it the way you see it. I don't think the way you thinking, but I trust that your decision is going to take us to the moon because I know you. I know how your mind works,
Yep.
what you believe in. Talk to me a little bit about like that faith. Where does that come from? Did you always have that kind of faith? Did you always have that?
Well, I mean, I think the faith, it goes back to what I was saying, is just acting on what you say. Like, if you say you're gonna do something, do it, right? If you say you're gonna go to the gym 5 o'clock in the morning, you do it. You say you're gonna read, right? You do it. But not just doing that, but doing a little bit more,
Yeah,
right? Realizing that doing enough in life is never enough. You have to overdo everything.
I
So if
love
I
it.
say, hey, you say you're gonna wake up at the gym, not only do you go to the gym, but if you say you're gonna do 10 reps, you do 11. Never stop at the finish line. So,
Yeah.
so what happens is once you start acting on those things and working when you know most people aren't working,
Mhm.
right? Or doing the things you know that most people wouldn't do,
Mhm.
you start believing like you deserve success.
Woo,
And then that you can't have anything from God that you don't believe you deserve.
you
So
spicy.
it goes back to like what I said earlier. If you don't know, if you know deep down you haven't been doing what you're supposed to do, you can
Mm,
self sabotage yourself because you
mm.
know that you don't deserve it. And no matter what it looks like, you're gonna feel like I can't attract that because that's not who I am. You know what I'm saying? But once you've done the things necessary and put the work in, it's like I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to have success, and that's what happens. It just
But
comes.
did you always feel like where did that come from? Like, okay, so talk to me about before you had this mindset, because
Right.
I'm really curious to know like where that belief and that frame of mind come from? What inspired that, or talk to me about before you had
Right.
that.
Well, I guess once you get through a challenge and you make it through, because every challenge we've ever been through, we've gone through and overcame every challenge you've ever been through. That's why we're
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And obviously a relationship with God, because once you know that if I was made in God's image and I'm his child and he already wants me to win. So I'm gonna win regardless. You know what I'm saying? That the victory is already won. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I'm gonna win regardless. And then especially if he gave me a business or whatever's like that, because how you see yourself sets up for what God could do for you. How you see yourself in the inside sets up for what God could do for you in the outside.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got to see yourself as a child of God and understand that I mess up every single day. I fall short every single day, and I still want the best for my children. So what do you think a good and loving God would want for his children?
The best. The
So
absolute best.
I'm supposed to be wealthy. That's my birthright. I'm supposed to have success. I'm supposed to do everything I'm supposed to touch or touch is supposed to prosper. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who I was created, and I was created in His image. So once you understand who you are and whose you are, everything starts to change. And one of the things one of my mentors said before a while ago, he said, if you have a goal in your heart that doesn't separate you from God or cause you to harm or hurt others, then that goal is from God, and not to pursue that goal or dream is a sin.
Woo!
So it's a sin to play small. It's a sin to be average. It's a sin to have goals and dreams that could change the world, and you just hold it in, and out of fear or doubt, you never let your light shine and never do anything great. You just die at nobody. I don't want to die at nobody.
Oh my
I don't want to
God.
die and be forgotten. I don't want to die and never mattered, never meant
Hmm.
anything.
You
So
talking to me. Yes.
that's I'm talking to me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
whatever comes to you sticks to you.
I
So
love that.
that's the main thing. Knowing who you are, whose you are. Know you can't fail. If it's the vision that was given to you, you act on it, and knowing that when you achieve and accomplish this vision or this assignment, then you'll get another one
Mm,
because there's no success is never ending. It's not a destination. It's just a life. You have to keep growing and growing and growing, and you never reach anywhere. You see,
fired
you
up.
just gotta keep on getting better.
You fired up.
That's what it is.
Did you like did somebody like call you and be like, hey, drop all these bombs. Like just don't let up. Don't let nobody breathe.
Mhm.
Just stay on their neck when you get to the Free Your Mind podcast. Somebody called you and told you that.
You know, it's funny.
What's that?
I don't never write or never. I just whenever I come to speak, I ask God to speak to me and speak through me.
You
That's it. And I
going another way.
and that's it. I've never written down anything when I spoke and I've spoken in front of people and what I'm saying, in different crowds, and I've never had to, because that's it. You just, I mean, of course, you self develop, you read, you get
Yeah,
better, you work on your
yeah,
mind all the time. So I'm always
yeah.
working on myself all the time. But then when you ask God to speak through you and you've been prepared, then it's just who you are now.
Oh, it's just who you are. This is so good. Oh my God. Okay, okay, okay. I gotta take a little break because I am like my brain. I do not have my pen and my paper, and I got a feeling that you about to drop some crazy, crazy gems. So I'm gonna go and get my pen and my paper. One thing we like to do here is spotlight black-owned businesses. We like to highlight because for the same thing that you're saying, people who are doing it and going after the thing for themselves and creating businesses, organizations for that is in support or uplifting the community in some way because people are watching you. So if you go out and you start a business, somebody now has a visual representation of something that they can do.
Right.
Right. And so I believe that outside of just giving people information, I like to give transformative examples. I want you to see what you could what your possibilities could be. Right. So we're going to take a quick break and highlight this episode's Black owned business. I'm going to go get my pen and my paper and we're going to come right back. I want you to talk to us a little bit about your business and what your business does.
Right.
And I'm going to be taking some notes. Okay. All right. So we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
That's right.
From capturing powerful stories to producing cinematic content that moves people, Coogee Media brings visions to life through the lens. Whether it's videography, photography, or full-scale productions, they don't just create content, they create experiences. So if you're ready to elevate your brand and tell your story with intention, tap in with Coogee Media because your vision deserves to be seen beautifully.
Yes, make sure y'all go out and support that Black business. We need to make sure we are putting our money into our community, funneling that money and empowering our businesses around us. And we don't need nobody else. I ain't going to say that on the show. But put your money in the Black community, put your Black dollars back into the Black community. That's what I'm trying to say. So speaking of Black dollars, Darren, you was talking about a little bit about your businesses and financial. Wait, what you call it?
I should be able to build wealth.
Build wealth.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna write. Let me write that down. Build wealth is your hashtag. Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. Yes.
So talk to us about what is your business? What do you do? What is your business?
Okay.
How does it help people?
Okay. All right. So one thing I do because there's a lot of people out there that's middle class, a lot of middle class that aren't educated on what to do with their finances, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the middle class, they a lot of times they make too much money to get the government help, and they don't make enough money where these financial institutions are actually coming to educate them on what to do with their money, how to invest their money, right?
That's me.
So yeah, so that's so what I do is I show people how to build wealth. I work with a great company. I'm sure I could talk about the company on here.
You can say whatever you want.
Okay,
Here's
all right,
to free your
Primerica.
mind.
Yeah, Primerica, and basically we educate people on how to become financially independent, right? So one of the big things, you just talk about Black business, one of the big things I realized in the African American community is a lot of African Americans either have no life insurance at all or being sold the wrong type. Right, and this is a big deal. Like if you go to Google and type in what race has the most life insurance, you'll see African Americans. But then if you type in what race has the smallest net worth, you'll see African Americans, right? Most GoFundMe's, right? So it's like, so how could we have the most life insurance but also the smallest net worth?
Wow.
Right? So what I realized in the Black community, what they sell mostly is what they call whole life or universal life, and any life insurance policy that builds up a savings in it is a ripoff, in my opinion.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And the reason that is, man, let's take whole life for instance, right? You pay money into it until you have a life insurance policy, you have a cash value that builds up. They tell people they can borrow money from their cash value, and not a lot of people say or stop to think to say, you know what, if it's my money, if I put the money in there, why would I borrow it?
That's a good point.
So what happens is when you borrow from that cash value, if you don't pay it back with interest, right? What happens is when you die, they can reduce your death benefit. So whatever's going to be paid to your family, they can reduce that by what you owe plus the interest. Or if you have a situation where you owe more, that means the loan balance in your policy, right, is greater than the cash value remaining, right? So if your loan is greater than the cash value, which most likely could happen, they could terminate your policy, right? Because now you owe them money. So it makes no sense, right?
But I heard like that the rate, and I'm not a like financial guru or anything like that. But I heard like when you borrow from that whole life, it's a whole life
Yeah, it could
policy.
be whole life.
When you borrow from that, the interest rate for the interest is lower than what you're making on that savings account. So,
Okay.
wouldn't that be a better thing?
Okay. Well, this is the thing. So if it's your money, like I said before, you shouldn't have to borrow it. But the thing is, when you die with a whole life policy, they only pay your life insurance, and the cash value remains with the company. They don't pay out both. So if you have $100,000 whole life policy and you have 50,000 in cash value, when you die, they only pay the death benefit.
Dang.
So
So
your
what they
cash
do with
val-
the rest?
it's the companies. That's why they say you have to borrow, because it's never your money in the first place. Number one. Number two, when you borrow from a whole life policy, in most cases, if you look at these policies, the loan interest is usually between 4 to 8%.
Right, right.
So your loan, so the interest on your loan grows faster than the cash value. The cash value usually grows at 1%, 2%, sometimes 1 to 4%. It depends on the policy,
Yeah.
right? But your loan grows faster than your cash in the policy. So first of
Dang.
all, if you went to the bank and the bank said any money you want, you can borrow it from us. If you don't put it back with interest, we could close your account, and that's the end of your the money. Would you do
Oh
business with
no,
that
that's
bank?
crazy. No,
Absolutely
that's
not,
crazy.
right? And then another thing they sell, I hear a lot about this on TikTok talk, is universal life IULs, infinite banking, all this other stuff like that.
What's
And
that?
so basically, a universal life policy, the policy that's life insurance, and there's a separate account for investment. So basically, kind of similar to whole life, right?
Okay, okay.
The only thing is, with a universal life policy, there's a surrender charge on it. So like for the first couple of years, you may not see anything that you could take from your policy as far as cash value, right? Whole life is maybe like 2 to 3. Universal life hasn't seen policy with the surrender charge is 5 years, 10 years, whatever.
Yeah.
But what happens is this: with universal life policies, if you have they have something called an option A, or level death benefit. And
Okay.
what that basically means, if you die, they pay out the death benefit, and the cash value is retained by the company. So they keep all your money you're saving. So
That's
you're
a
basically
scam.
paying for two things, but you only get one,
That's
right,
a
when you die,
scam.
right? And then they have the increasing benefit, whereby they pay out the life insurance and whatever remaining savings you have. But what they don't tell you is, as you get older, the cost of the insurance actually increases every year. So every year, the cost of your insurance is increasing.
Yeah.
You're paying the same amount monthly, so you don't notice the increase.
Right.
So what happens is, let's say you're paying $100 a month, and now the cost of your insurance is $200 a month. What they do is they take away from your cash value. So they pull away your savings as you get older. And when you get to a certain age, your policy they could either say, hey, you know what, you got to pay more, right? This
Yeah.
price now because it's the cost of your insurance,
Yeah.
or we could terminate your policy, right, or pay a reduced amount
Because it's upside down.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
So any life insurance policy that has a savings is a ripoff. Life insurance is for dying. Savings is for living. You can't die and live at the same time.
Say one more time. That's a
Life
bar
insurance
right
for
there.
dying.
Uh-huh.
Savings for living. You can't die and live at the same time. There's no savings your auto insurance.
Right.
There's no savings your health insurance.
Yeah.
Why would a company put a savings your life insurance that when you die you lose it, or it would jeopardize the policy? So we teach people to have term insurance. So term insurance is life insurance only, right? You can, and it's for a specific period of time, right? It could be 20, 30, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And what we do is we teach you to invest outside of your life insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So if I invest outside of my life insurance, if I die, my family can get my life insurance and they can get my investment.
That's tight.
So they can get both.
Yeah.
And I could take money from my investment without having to borrow it, or reducing my life insurance policy. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah.
Because, and the reason why I say term is because think about it. If you're young, like right now, you're married, you guys have a mortgage, right? No kids, right? But still, and if you passed away, you want to make sure your income's replaced to your spouse, right?
Right,
You want to make sure the balance of the house is paid off, right?
Right, for
so
sure.
20, 30 years from now, when the house is paid off, your debt paid off more, you wouldn't need as much life insurance at that point, especially if you've been saving, because at that stage, you have lesser expenses, right?
Right.
Your expenses decrease, right? You might just need enough for burial if you need that. But if you had a couple $100,000 saved, whatever you had saved, now you're self-insured. People like Michael Jackson didn't need life insurance. Kobe Bryant, I don't know if they had it, but they didn't need it because they had money. But if you die before you accumulate the wealth,
Okay.
that's the purpose of life insurance. So if you die too soon, life insurance secures your family, takes care of your debt, whatever. But if you live long, you have a separate investment account. So when you retire, you can stay retired.
Yo,
So that's what we teach people.
That's spicy. I hope y'all was writing notes and writing that down. If not, go back, rewatch the episode, or move that little thing over and hear that part again, because people need to understand the difference of life insurance. I've always heard about life insurance, but I never thought to think about what type of policies that we have. I have, well, prior to the other day, I had life insurance, but just through my job. And a lot of people would say, well, I get life insurance through my job.
Right.
Is that a good thing, or should
Well,
they?
I mean, having life insurance in a job, I mean, if it's a benefit, you keep it. That's a great thing to have life
Yeah.
insurance in a job, but you got to have it outside your job, right? Because number one, for a reason, I believe, right? If you leave or lose your job, a lot of times, in a lot of cases, you can't. It's gone. Right? The
Yeah.
money you paid into it stays with the company, right?
Yeah.
Some jobs you can take it, but you might have to pay an increased price or whatever, right? And I know federal government sometimes you can once you retire you can take it with you, but it decreases as you get old. At certain ages it
Yeah.
decreases.
Right.
So you got to have your own. You can't leave your financial future in the hands of your employer. So if you leave or lose your job, that's one reason. Another reason, if you get sick, there's a lot of GoFundMe accounts, and these are grown men and women on there that had jobs. But if you get like sick or disabled and you're not able to work your 40 hours a week, you lose your full-time benefits.
Dang.
So I mean, I've paid out death claims. I mean, tons of them in the black community. But I've had people that died of cancer. The job never paid out because they might have been out of work for 5 or 6, 7 months.
Wow.
So therefore, they're not considered a full-time employee. So when they died, thank God they had a policy with us. But
Yeah.
I mean, if not, their family would have got nothing, right?
Yeah. If you got on FMLA, does that count as like not being at work?
So I mean, the thing about it, FMLA and those different things like that, right? The benefits are still limited because eventually you're gonna have to get back to work.
Yeah.
Get back to
right.
the job, right?
Right.
And so when you get back to the job, at the end of the day, is same thing. Leave or lose your job, you no longer have it, sick or disabled, right? I know sometimes there's jobs and situations whereby, like if I'm a forklift driver, some jobs require that you die while performing a duty at work.
What?
Yeah, so if like I'm a forklift driver, I die on the job, they pay out, right? Depending on the job, right?
Yeah.
But if I die on my day off or not performing a duty at work, some jobs don't have to pay out.
Are you kidding me?
Absolutely.
So we can be paying for life insurance, and because we got to a car accident, or somebody gets into a car accident and they pass away, the job be like, oh well, they ain't die here, so
Some jobs require that, depending on how your duty of work. Some jobs require that you die while performing a duty at work, or it might be if you die of an accident while performing your duty at work. Does
that's
that make sense?
crazy.
And then another thing I tell people is, usually at a job they might give you 1 time your salary, sometimes 2. I know sometimes in the federal government it might be 3 to 5 times. But if you have young children or dead, it may not.
It's not gonna be enough.
It may not be enough. So you might be underinsured. So
Yeah.
you gotta have life insurance because you just never know when you're gonna die.
Yeah.
And if everybody knew when they're gonna die, they get life insurance the day before.
The day before, right? So talk to me about that though. Like if you get a policy,
Yeah.
if you get a life insurance policy, and there's like a certain amount of time that you have to have the policy
Good
before
question.
it can pay out?
So a lot of whole life policies, a lot of those policies build up a savings. I've seen, right, certain policies whereby if you die within the first 2 years, they just return your premium back to you, right? So they don't have to pay out the death benefit.
Yeah.
And it
Just
depends.
give you everything you paid into it.
Yeah, that's it, right? So
That's great.
But I've had situations with our company whereby I had a person that we helped. Matter of fact, one case right there in D.C., I had a person that we helped. They had a Primerica policy already. We added their son to the policy, right? The son was killed 2 days later.
Shut up.
And we paid out a death claim.
They paid it out.
They paid out a death claim.
Y'all.
Paid out a death claim. I had a situation whereby another client where her son was killed, but we reinstated her policy maybe 2 or 3 weeks prior,
Right.
and they paid out. So the thing is as long as if you get approved, you told the truth in the application. You don't commit suicide within the first 2 years. Right? If you die, it's paid out.
Is that a myth though? People, if you commit suicide, that you won't get your life insurance. That a myth?
That's true.
That's true.
That's true. And a lot of companies, but with our company, after 2 years, right? No, we're not saying anybody to.
Please don't
Exactly.
do no
Exactly.
self-harm.
Yeah,
we want you to be on this earth for 1,000 years.
Exactly. Don't make a permanent decision based on temporary situations.
Say that one more time.
Never make a permanent decision based on temporary situations.
Whew, that's good.
so
You
yeah.
dropping bars on this show today, man. You came to work. I hope y'all got y'all pens and y'all papers. I'm not playing. Y'all need to be taking notes because this is some important, vital information for us, our community, to build wealth.
That's right.
Is that we talk a lot about empowering our minds. We talk about a lot about empowering, being successful and encouraging you to live the life that you want to live. But that also includes the legacy that you're leaving and what what happens if something happens to you tragically and you have to leave this world.
That's right.
The people that are in your life should be taken care of. That's real wealth.
That's right.
That's a legacy that you're leaving.
That's right.
I mean, if you think about a lot of the top wealthiest families that we have here,
That's right.
it's the 3 or 4 generations
That's
before
right.
them and what they left behind that established them to have the wealth that they have. And so if we're not leaving that legacy and we're not leaving wealth or even any kind of financial security, or if we're leaving debt to our families if we pass away, we're putting ourselves behind the curve versus giving us a head start or giving the generations after us a head start by preparing now, taking care of them now. Take care of your great grandchildren right now, man. I'm probably never having children, but I'm taking care of some people in my life right now.
Right.
I made the decision, and I met with you actually through a close friend of ours, and I was just so blown away by the information. I mean, I was on there running questions. We were supposed to be doing an interview a training for her to get her certification. And I'm on there like, well, okay, so what about this? Like, I know you're trying to train, hold up, but I just got this one question real quick. Like,
Right.
I was trying to soak up the information and it really, really inspired me. And I had to get the life insurance. I had to. And not only did I get the life insurance, but I got the investment account. Can you tell us a little bit about the benefits of the investing and putting money in an investing account?
Right. Yeah, well, yeah. So, like I said, you gotta. There's nothing worse. I told my clients like, there's nothing worse than being old and broke, right? Because you don't want to have to work because you.
I don't want to be
have
young and
to.
broke.
Yeah.
I don't want to be broke
We don't-
at all.
Exactly. Right? So you don't want to work because you have to.
Yeah.
You want to work because you want to, right? And a lot of people say, well, you know what? They might be older and they say, well, I work because I want to stay active. But if you want to stay active, why not join a gym membership or do yoga or sometimes your grandkids or travel? They need the money, right? So I just teach people that your 20 and 30-year-old self has got to take care of your 50 or 60-year-old self.
Absolutely.
You got to save money so money saves you, right? So I'm not gonna go too much into. We do a lot of different things when it comes to investing, mutual funds, managed account, different things like that. But the main thing is just knowing that one day you're gonna have to slow down. One day you're not gonna be able to work the way you want to work, or the way you could work now. You might not have the energy, you may not even have the health, but you don't want your money to slow down. So you got to save money so money saves you down the road. Right?
Absolutely.
So we teach people, we educate them on how to invest, what's the best places for them to invest, and we give them options that we believe is best for them and their family, and I'm sure they believe it too. That's why they do business with us.
So if somebody watching this show right now wanted to get some more information about setting up a life insurance policy or learning about an investment account, how could they go about doing that with you?
I mean, they could. I guess I could leave my number with them. They could call me. Or
We're gonna put you got a website, you got a link.
Yeah, either way, I give my personal email.
No, we're not putting your email on YouTube.
Okay,
We're not gonna put your personal email on YouTube. We're gonna put your business website in the comments.
I give you my business website.
In the link, I'm sorry, in the description, we're gonna
Right.
put your link to your
That's
website.
my
Yeah.
business website.
Yeah.
And
We're not putting your phone number on the
I
internet.
would ain't put my phone number. but I give some stuff that you
Yeah.
can.
Absolutely. Because we want the people to not only get the information just to have information, but we want y'all to take action. And even if for whatever reason, because one thing I know, he's going to talk you into getting a life insurance, okay? All you got to do is sit down with him for like 5 minutes. He's going to explain it to you in such a way where you can really understand the information and immediately want to take action. Absolutely. Not only are we taking action on getting the life insurance, but then we start sharing the information with other people so they can get the life insurance. And that's what we want to continue to do, is have our community build the wealth. Everybody that is connected to us, that gets connected to someone else, we want them also wealthy. Absolutely. We want this building wealth for the entire community. All right, so we're going to put the information in the description, okay? So I want y'all to take action. Even if you just click the website and set up a meeting to just talk to them, just to get the information, we want y'all to get y'all wealth. And we could do it on Zoom, right?
Absolutely.
We did our meet on Zoom, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we could do it on Zoom.
For sure.
We don't even got to come to your house. I know the old back in the day, the insurance man show up with his briefcase and come sit
I don't
down.
got no briefcase.
Yeah, you don't got no, we don't need none of that. All you need is your phone or internet access, and we can get you on Zoom set up.
Absolutely.
And get some life insurance.
Absolutely.
Yeah, all right. So we about to go. Oh, I got to pay some bills right quick. Do you mind? You don't care? Okay. This episode is sponsored by rarehairclothing.com, the dopest clothing brand out there on the internet. I'm talking about shirts, hats, sweatsuits, jackets, t-shirts, whatever you want, they got it, and it's super fire. Now, because I'm y'all girl, I got y'all a little promo code, okay? So you're going to use free YM7 and get 25% off your first order. Not every order, y'all. Don't be greedy, okay? As a matter of fact, buy them out. Well, buy them out. Don't use the code, though. Don't use the code every episode, but do buy them out. And they sponsor the Free Your Mind podcast. So you pay them. They sponsor us. I give y'all more amazing guests, more information, more life-changing experiences that help you to grow. And it just keep on going around and around. Then you got to go back and pay them again. All right, y'all. So we're going to get back to it. We'd like to do a little segment where we do some tips, where I kind of give some actionable tips where people can use to help them start bettering themselves, freeing their mind, opening up their mind, exposing them to different ways of thinking, shifting perspectives, all that good stuff. So I'm going to head over to the corner, give you your tips, and then we'll be right back. When we come back, I want you to give a mic drop gem that can, what can I say? Because you've just been dropping so many gems. I don't even know what is left. Like, give them something about financial literacy, a small step that they can take to get more information or empower them about financial literacy. Something. I know you got something in your bag.
Yep.
All right, we're going to be right back. All right, y'all. Look, I am a dreamer, okay? I dream big. I don't know about you, but like, I believe I can fly. I mean, I am a visionary and I see the large picture, the largest picture that you can find. I see that. But what I've been learning is to set realistic goals, to break those big dreams down into things that I can actually accomplish today. So today's tip is to set realistic goals, right? So look at your big dream. Look at your big dream and then break that down. Okay, what can I obtain in a year? Okay, then break that down and what can I do in this month that'll compound over 12 months to total to that year? And then what can I do every single day? You know, break it all the way down into it's like, what do I do right now to get me to the next step so that I can get to the month's goal, then the year's goal, and then to ultimately reach that large goal. Set realistic goals, things that you can actually obtain and accomplish, because the momentum from the win will help you keep going forward. I mean, I start off every Freedom Friday, y'all know this, with our wins. Why? Because I believe celebrating small wins lead to larger wins. They compound those little tiny things that you check off your to-do list or that you accomplish and go after, you start to celebrate and it builds a momentum. Look, if my goal is to make $100,000, my first $100, if that's a realistic goal and I broke it all the way down, my first $100 I know is a step towards that 100,000. And if I keep doing what I did to get that 100, I can get 10 of those. And then I can get 10 of those until ultimately I'm a millionaire. I mean, ain't that everybody's goal? Okay. But for real, set realistic goals, things that you can accomplish, check off that to-do list and pat yourself on the back so that you can keep going. Because if you lose too many times, you're going to be discouraged. You're going to be, down, and you may even give up because the goal was just unobtainable. Like, that's the reality. And sometimes you got to call a thing a thing. Okay. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I am getting so many tips from today's episode. So I'm ready to get back into it because I got to get some more information. I'll see you. Make sure that you sit back, relax, and be inspired. Thank y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. So we gave the people, I mean, you started off with empowering your mind, empowering, like acting on the things that you think about, setting up a vision board or real life experiences where you can see tangibly the things that you want to have in your life, that level of success. You talked about getting in a community around people who are doing great things and being great so that you can get inspired by them, hear their stories, and
Right.
get your mind fueled. You talk about financial literacy. You just gave so much good information.
Right.
Tell the people where they could find you.
You can find me. Well, my Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Charles _3.
Mr. Dot
And
Charles.
Darron Charles on Facebook. Darron
Mhm.
Charles.
Okay.
Charles
All
on
right.
Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where they could
And
find
I
you.
could.
And are you on social media giving the game?
I honestly, like, I might post some quotes on Facebook from time to time. Yes. Like
We getting
when
that.
I read a book or something like that, I post something like that.
Nah, we stepping that up.
You gotta step it
We
up.
stepping that up. We stepping that up, y'all.
I'm not really on as much as I could.
We stepping that up. Don't worry about it. I got you. Because you got me on the financial tip.
Absolutely.
I got you on that. Because we need this information out here.
Cool.
The people need it. Okay.
Right.
So I'm gonna send them to you and you going to sauce it up. Yeah. All right. So we gonna get that popping because we want more people to get access to all of that good stuff that's in your brain. They need it. They need it. All right, y'all. Well, as always, I appreciate y'all for rocking with the Free Your Mind podcast. What? Y'all, my production team always say, "Oh, the mic drop Jim." They always listen. When I get the roll in my brain get the going, I be forgetting stuff. So I'm so glad for the team. Thank y'all for holding me together. Okay, so your mic drop Jim. Sorry, I was about to wrap it up. No, I knew what I was doing, y'all. Y'all messed me up. I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
I was trying to get the information out. We gonna end it with his mic drop Jim.
There you go.
See y'all. Leave it to me, okay? Let me do this
You got this.
and free y'all mind, okay? All right. So, like I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, I appreciate y'all for rocking with the Free Your Mind podcast and sticking with us, growing with us. We love y'all so much. Be sure to follow Free Your Mind podcast on everything, freeyourmind.pod, freeyourmind.pod on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. We drop daily affirmations. Oh, and I forgot to mention on Fridays, we go live at 1 p.m. every Friday because we're trying to build community. We're trying to grow a community of high level thinkers, of high level people. And even if you are not quite there as a high level thinker, this is the place you want to be because we're starting from the bottom till we get there. You know what I'm saying? We're going to build those mindsets together. And so every Friday at 1 p.m. we go live on Instagram and we have good conversation. We talk about stuff like this. We talk about, things that we've been through in our life to help us to grow together. And we're building. I'm working on building this community. So that's what we're doing here is encouraging you to join us so that we can all build and grow together. All right, so as I promised y'all, they was trying to get that mic drop Jim too early, y'all. They was trying to get it too early, but want to save the best for last. So give us your mic drop Jim and take us out.
I guess one of the biggest things I learned from one of my mentors in the business is that in life you got to focus on fixing yourself and serving others. As opposed to most people want to serve themselves and fix others.
Ooh.
And so that's one thing I realized that the only person you can change yourself when you start changing yourself and how you perceive things, the things you perceive and look at start to change. Man. And then you're gonna change people, or you're gonna change people. I mean, either way, the right people are gonna attract you regardless because you're thinking.
Hold on. Because I don't think y'all really caught what he just said. It almost missed me.
Yeah.
Say that change people thing one more time. Like I know we keep running it back, but ooh.
You're either gonna change people, right, through the example you're setting, or you're gonna change people. The people around you will start to change.
Yeah.
Right, and that's one of the biggest things is, and then it's just it's doing that, and if you serve others, and look for the good. Now, I believe that everybody, if you're looking for something good, you can find something good in anybody.
Yeah.
You get what you look for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you work on yourself and how you see yourself, is and what you look for yourself and the great things that you see in yourself, you're gonna start looking for those great things in other people.
Yes.
Right? And what you admire in the great people that's already doing great things,
Yes.
exists in you.
Mm.
So there's some type of celebrity you admire or superstar athlete, whatever it is that you admire. A lot of times that greatness is in you too.
It's in you
So,
too.
so yes, that's what I'd say. You fix yourself, you serve others.
Yeah.
Because when you serve people, you serve God.
You can't end it no better than that. You can't end it no better than that. Darron, thank you so much for coming to the Freedom House and taking a seat on the Freedom Couch and just, I don't know about y'all, but I feel transformed. I feel inspired. I'm about to go and make $1 billion.
Let's do it. Anything you want.
Tomorrow. Because anything I want, I can have it, right?
Yep.
All right.
Anything that's great, you just.
If I wake up and I'm not a billionaire, I'm calling you.
Hey,
okay.
Let's go after it.
Let's go. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.
All right. I love it.
On my queen shit, crown tilted lean shit.